Alright guys, welcome back. Part 4 of this series, and today we're going to get started by removing the spindle bearing. And I've already got my kit. This is a national kit here, K10. This kit comes with the bearing and 2 seals. One seal, the little interior seal, and then the bearing. So we can see that this is just a little needle or a little roller bearing, and this one's got a cage on the inside. Y'all can see, and it don't really, I can't see the cage on this one, but it may be one. One side is flat, one side is rounded. I'm not sure which way it goes just yet. We'll get the old bearing out and see if we can figure out. Hopefully this is the original bearing and it's in the right way. Alright guys, what I'm going to try to do is take my 5-pound pull handle. I'm going to put these on it. I'm going to stick it in here and I'm going to thread this rod in here where it gets tight. Let's see if it'll. I got this thing threaded tight now. And as you can see, it brought it right out. Alright guys, with it all cleaned up, you can see I got the worst of it off around here, and especially around these edges right here. And it's all good and clean. Run a parts washer brush through it. I've got me a socket here. This is a 1.25 inch socket. Should be about the right size. We need to drive the new one in. Now the only thing I didn't really pay much attention to was which way this bearing came out. Get it started. Just give it a few little taps to get it set in. Set the old one on top of the new one. This thing is cracked. I didn't realize I'd cracked the old one. I just won't be saving it. I believe that's about as deep as this one was, so now we got to put a little grease on it, and where we can get it back on our truck. So let me find my grease. Pack it full of grease right quick. Good gooey peanut butter grease. Let's see what I'm doing. Just taking my fingers. Keep pushing this grease into those bearings. Alright guys, you see, maybe you can see, I got the axle shaft pretty much wire wheeled down. Got all the loose rust off of it all the way to the splines. There ain't much I can do down here on this end. It's just caked on, heated on, whatever. And I got the best I could around these U-joints in this spline here. Now, that seal that's inside this axle housing. You can probably feel it once we get to it. Right there, I think. We gotta figure out how to lift it up. back into the axle now. I believe we did alright. Turned out pretty good, this little paint job we got here. I went ahead and straightened this piece out as much as I could until we put on wire wheel. Got as much crap off of it as I could. Now we're going to try to just try to get it on. Without, may have to stick something in this, keep this thing from sliding in. So, try to keep it from sliding back. I don't know if y'all be able to see. I'm hitting on something right there. I think I'm hitting on that. I think I got it. There it goes. Before I put it all the way back in there, I'm going to go ahead and stick this seal on here. Remember, the flat side of the seal goes in. Right there. Alright, and then you got another seal here that's going to go in here. I don't know if y'all can see right here. I'm just going to stick this seal in. Fits right in the bottom. Slide it on here. Alright, so now we are ready to put this on, and if I ain't mistaken, this thing was clocked. Somewhere probably right in here. Pretty sure it was right about the 2 o'clock position. Alright guys, it's been a couple of days since the last section, but anyway, I've got the locking nuts and all this cleaned up, and I wanted to show you on this is the lock nut, this is the adjusting nut, and you might be able to see that little circle right here, right there. This is the pin. It goes all the way through this nut. We've got to drive this pin out a little bit where it will engage with this lock ring. I took just a regular old nail like that, and on the opposite direction, see, it sticks out now. And so now as we tighten up and we get ready to put our lock plate on, we'll line it up where it goes in one of these holes, and that'll lock it into place. And it don't need to extend past this plate because the other lock nut's going to go on it. We don't want to catch it, so I believe that's good right there. So I've already repacked the outer bearing. We'll go ahead and slide the hub on. Be real careful. Line it up. Back there. Alright. And then the outer bearing, may have to put a little more grease on this bearing. I've had it wrapped up to keep it from getting dirty. Let me go ahead and throw some more grease on here. And I've never dealt with grease like this before. I mean, it's just sticky. So we're going to put it in with the cone facing in. We'll seat it. Alright. And then I'm going to change the plug. I believe now we're ready to put the lock nut, the inner lock nut on. It's actually the adjusting nut. Now you're going to need a socket kind of like this that you're going to line up. And this is not the right one. Yes, it is. You're just going to line up in these grooves. Right. It will only line up into certain grooves. It won't line up into all of them. And be sure that the thing's pointing down. You can see there's a little notch right here and a notch here. And a notch here and a notch here. I believe it will go any way around. But that pin is always going to be in one of these notches. So it don't really matter which notch it goes into, but it won't go in with these four right here. It won't go into these two. Slide it on. Get it started on the spindle. Got it started. Got some paper towels over here. We're going to slide this in until we get it lined up with the notches we need. There it goes. Got it pretty tight. Now we need our torque wrench. What do I do with it? Over yonder. And we're going to torque it 250 foot-pounds. Now you can spin this, but I'd wait till I got some tension on it before I spin it. 10, 20. I hate this torque wrench. Harbor Freight crap. 30, 40, 50. Line back up in the grooves here. Groove. Right. Spin it. He's lined up in the grooves. Ain't gonna catch. To me, this was just a bad design all the way around where you had to use these special sockets. What happens is these things will get wore out and they quit grabbing. Alright, there's 50. See, it's tight. 50 is pretty tight. So now we got to back it off quarter, 90 degrees. Right. So 90 degrees is going to be 2/4 turns. 1, 2. All right. And then we're going to tighten it up to 35 foot-pounds. So we're at 50, 40, 35. And as we tighten it up to 35, we're going to be trying to spin this thing. And I can't hold and spin at the same time, unfortunately. There's just no way. It says continue to spin while you tighten. Let me get the damn heel here. Maybe. No, I think I backed that thing 90 degrees. I believe I put it at two quarter turns, didn't I? I should have went 1/4 turn, but I don't really see how that matters. All you want to do is loosen it up. And now we want to go 3/8 of a turn, which would be a little less than half. So get back in the groove here. So there's a quarter, and there would be about 3/8. Let's see, thereabouts. Now we'll check it, and it don't move hard. So that's what you want. All right, now that we got this in, we've got to line up the pin in one of these holes. So we're going to slide it in there and just see if it'll line up or something. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. I have to get on the ground and see everything. Okay, the groove is like this. Let me set this somewhere it ain't gonna get dirty. And the pin is right close to the groove. Get on there, sir. I mean, we lucked out, boy. That joker was just right. Went right in that pin like nobody's business. Alright, so this one's got a bevel and a flat spot. I'm thinking the bevel goes out on this. I don't really know why it wouldn't go in. But I think the bevel goes in on it. If it don't, I don't think it really should matter that much. Get it started, maybe. Socket going. Might work. Damn, whole thing turned. Make sure that didn't just shear that little pin in there. But I think it's on, and this is the correct socket. Right. So this is the socket I was using. This is just a cheap socket, but it is a USA made socket. This is the performance tool. You can see that the how much bigger it is, and this fits. So this is probably what I should have been using the whole time. The hub and rotor are on, and all we need to do now is put the locking hub in. And like I said, I've got to do a little more research on this one to see if we got everything we need. Now, as far as this part is cleaning it with some brake cleaner and installing our new rebuilt caliper and reinstalling our brake hose. But it turns smooth. There's really hardly any wiggle at all, just a bear. I think it said it's got to should move between 1/1000th and 10/1000th of an inch. That's all you want out of these things, and that's pretty close to what it is. Just a little bit of yeah, I didn't paint the hub, and I'm sure I'm gonna catch a little flack on that, but the hub itself will really not be seen once you put the wheel and the cap over it. The cap's gonna come out really this far, you know, halfway over the hub, so it's really not that big a deal, and it would have been a lot more work and effort to have to sandblast and paint this hub. I just really didn't want to fool with it, to tell you the truth. You know, it took me several days of painting to do the back and the knuckle, but it definitely makes a big difference. That back plate really looks good painted. I'm sure I'm glad I went ahead and did that. There again, when I do the other side, it's another 2 or 3 days with this thing being tore down, waiting on stuff getting painted. So what I think I'm going to do is, once I get this side done, I'm going to turn it around out in the yard and bring it in from the, you know, pull it in instead of backing it in, and then we'll have a little bit more room to work in here. The front will be, of course, back in there, so it's going to be a little tougher, but it is what it is. It's getting cold weather. Today it's high in the low 50s, low in the, I think it was 28 this morning when I got up at 8:30. Looked like it snowed outside, the frost was so bad, but it warmed up pretty good, and it's lunchtime now. It's probably about 50 degrees, but the wind's blowing. It's kind of makes it feel colder. So anyway, guys, we'll stop here, and the next video will be installing the brake caliper and shoes, and also a hub. Whether it's this hub or a new hub, we'll have to figure out if I want. I don't mind going to the manual hubs. I'm sure he don't mind going to them. These automatic hubs are, you know, sometimes they don't want to unlock, sometimes they don't want to lock. I don't really like them. I like a positive locking hub. So I'm gonna go out there and look at these hubs I got on the other truck and see if they'll are worth a flip, or the other axle rather. I may just use those, or I may just buy a set. These hubs are about $100 a set for Warren's, or there's several brand mile marker. I've used them all. They're all about the same. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the videos and this series, and please stay tuned for more, and please, if you hadn't subscribe, and rate, comment, and thumbs up if you liked it.